Hey yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Tylarious, aka Ty Killington. Yeah, man. All right, welcome to part two of the 2024 Cayo Perico, the Cayo Perico Meta Guide. All right, this part two episode, we're talking about the prep missions. All right. Part one was all about gathering intel. Now your intel gathering is complete. You know what your secondary and primary targets are going to be in the compound because the meta has changed. It is no longer a solo meta where you loot the island. It is now a duo, two-player meta where you want to focus on the compound. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. Once you get back to Los Santos from returning from the Cayo Perico Island, all right, you want to go ahead and call in your Sparrow, and then once you're leaving the airport, you want to go ahead and call in the Kasatka. And now we're going to set up your Kasatka submarine in order for you to be able to, basically, get your prep work done the most efficiently. All right, I'm going to be going over all of the proper, setup missions and prep missions and the type of approach vehicle that you want to aim for. All right. So let's go ahead and call in the Kasatka, and we're going to go ahead and then dock the Sparrow. Just hit the right arrow key as you hover over top of the Kasatka submarine, and it will pull you into the actual sub. You'll be in the Moon Pool Bay. All right, go ahead and make your way to the bridge. And once we're on the bridge, we're going to go to the pilot chair, right, to the navigation area, I guess you can call it. And what we're going to do is we're going to drive the submarine, okay? So the whole point of this is being able to, maximize your time to money efficiency, right? So what I want you to do is I want you to drive your sub and beach it onto the actual beach, right? Don't go too far up because you don't want the submarine to lean left or right. As soon as you get to right where like the tip of the the tip of the Kasatka has breached onto the beach, hit triangle or whatever it is to exit out of the pilot chair, and then we're good to go. Right now, go ahead and go back over to the planning screen, and this is where we're going to start with our prep work. We need to start with the approach vehicle first. All right, follow this order because this will be able to kind of like get your vehicle set up with what you're doing. Now, there's multiple different approach ways, but we're focusing on the long fin. All right, the long fin is the meta, still is the meta. You can do other approach vehicles at your own leisure. The actual submarine approach is really good too, but the long fin is going to be the way to go just in case you need to maneuver to other areas around the map. All right. So we'll exit out. Now, there'll be several different locations for each one of these prep missions, but they all basically work the same way. Now, we need to steal the long fin from the police lockup. What I want you to do is land your Sparrow, go into your interaction menu, go to manage vehicles, and go ahead and request the Phantom Wedge. This is the primary vehicle you want to use for this particular mission. If you don't own a Phantom Wedge, you should. It's totally fun. It's a blast, all right? And then once you call that in, go ahead and send your Sparrow back to the Kasatka submarine. Now back your Phantom Wedge into the police lockup location because you have to back up to the trailer and hook up to the trailer of the Longfin. Plus, it makes it a little bit easier for you to dodge the cops shooting at you, all right? Go ahead and hook up the trailer of the Longfin. And then what you want to do is you want to drive it on down to the drop-off location. You have to lose the cops, but this is the particular location on the map that we're going. So set your waypoint if you're not familiar with this area. All right, or if you're like me and you're just addicted to GPS, right? So go ahead and select this as your waypoint, and you want to head on down that way, and then we're going to be dropping off the. You might be able to lose the cops on the way down there. I doubt that. But once you get down to this particular location, you can take a left right here in front of that green dumpster, or a little bit further up where you can just kind of wait for the doors to open up. Now, once you exit the vehicle, you could just blow yourself up, and that will get the cops off of you. I like to kind of keep it a little bit more authentic and just hide from the cops and just lose the stars that way. But just, if you want to, again, maximize your time, just eat an RPG or a sticky bomb. You'll spawn back in, no cops, and you come back to the truck, and you're good to go. All right, and then they store the Phantom Wedge, and you got the long fin, and this part of it is done. Now, once you get that complete, what you want to do is go back to your interaction menu. You want to go to manage vehicles, and then you want to return your personal vehicle. All right, the Phantom Wedge is the personal vehicle. And then once you do that, you want to directly request personal vehicle because it will see your Mark II as the personal vehicle if that's the most previous vehicle that you were using. All right, so make sure you had your Mark II out before you selected the Gather Intel mission and went to Cayo Perico to scope it out. But if you're worried and you may not know if you did that correctly, just simply call your Mark II in from either your Terabyte through the special vehicles or through your mechanic, right? So you can do that as well. So don't worry about that. Now we're on our Mark II. This will be our primary vehicle to run the prep work. And now we can land the Mark II on top of the Kasaka without worrying about it falling off into the ocean. That's why we beach the Kasaka, all right? We'll park the Mark II right there, go back to the planning screen, and we're on to our next prep work. These are the equipment. Always skip the demolition charges and just go from top to bottom. So first one up will be the plasma cutter. You do not need the plasma charges unless you're doing a specific type of heist where it does require those, but traditionally it will not, so don't worry about it. Okay, we're going to leave and go to the safe house for the plasma cutter. Again, there may be different locations from what I have here, but they all work the same. It's all the same premise, right? For this one, we're going to walk up into the actual safe house, or break into it, right? All you have to do is, as soon as you're in here, just pull out your phone, right, and then take a picture right here at the door. It will register the actual photo. You can send it to Pavel. You'll walk up to the desk, walk back around, so it registers the door access, and you're good to go. Pavel will investigate the photo, and he'll send you a secondary location. Okay, so we're waiting for Pavel real quick here. He's talking, yada yada yada. We're making our way around to kind of have an idea of where it's going to be. And once we're there, again, it may be a different location from what I have, but you got to mark out these bad guys. You got to kill a particular bad guy, and he'll drop your primary target, which is the plasma cutter. You'll see it with a green arrow. Now, you don't have to go full on, John Wick like I did here. Is as soon as you drop the target, you'll see that green arrow, or you'll see the bag, the duffel bag on your map. Just go ahead and pick that up and get on out of there. All right. Now, listen, all of these prep work missions, if you're using the vehicles I'm using, you got the Sparrow, you got the Mark II, it should take you between 20 to 30 minutes tops, all right? I usually get it done in about 20 to 25 minutes. So this should take you no more than a half hour. All right, plasma cutter is delivered. Let's go back to the planning screen, and then we'll move on to our next equipment prep mission. All right, so go over to the prep, go back down to equipment, and now we're going to the fingerprint cloner. All right, so head on out, go back up the ladder right here, up to the top hatch, where our trusty Mark II will be waiting, looking like it's spazzing out right there. It's twerking for us. All right, go ahead and go to the warehouse on this particular mission. Again, it could be a different spot from where I'm at, but it's all going to operate the same. Now this, you need to make sure that you have a primary weapon. I like to use the assault shotgun. Have that in your hands before you go in, right? Because it will be violence once you get in there. So go ahead and have your assault shotgun out and just lay waste. Take care of business. Check your health and armor. You can always just kind of post up on that box right where you enter in. Now you'll go to the laptop. It will allow you to select the laptop, right? And then you're going to do this, 15-year-old hack right here. Pavel's talking smack about it, so it's kind of funny. Go ahead and knock out this hack. And then once we leave here, we'll have another secondary location. All right, so we're dipping out of this, and we're going to wait for Pavel to let us know where it's at. It's a secondary location. Now, you can shoot the cameras down if you want to. You don't have to. It's no big deal. But once you sneak into the archive location, you need to go run all the way to the end of the actual location, or the interior. It's in the same. It's not always in the same exact spot, but it's always at the very back. And the key will be like in one of those little tables right there. You just kind of move your character around in there and you'll get it. And then make your way on back to the Kasaka. All right. We're about halfway through. Go back to the planning screen once the fingerprint cloner is delivered. Next equipment prep mission, the last one that we need is going to be the cutting torch. All right. Now, again, there'll be several different construction site locations, but they're all going to be the same. What you need to do is once you get to the construction site location, there's going to be a yellow hard hat available. Now, you can just choose violence and just blow the place up. You can do that. But I find it a little bit quicker, a little bit easier just to get to the hard hat, right? You have to go to it once, then go back. It will register. Put the hard hat on, and you can actually, you can kind of just walk around there without too much of an issue. Now, this particular location does bug out sometimes. Just make sure you don't bump into any of the guards walking around. And you want to search the toolboxes that have the green chevron arrows over them, right? There'll be a couple on the bottom. a couple in the mid, and then a couple up top. Just find those. And you're looking for a bright blue or a royal blue colored cutting torch. You can't miss it. You see it right here. There it is. Go ahead and select it. And once you got that, you're good to go. And again, you can do it stealthily like I did, or you can just choose violence. Either way is fine. No big deal. Go ahead and dip on out of there. And now we're heading back to the Kasatka, and we're almost done. We just need one more thing. Head back inside. Cutting torch is now ours. And the last prep mission that we need to do is going to be securing your weapon loadout. Now, when you go to get your particular weapon loadout, you always want to choose aggressor. Always choose aggressor, okay? Let me say it for a third time. Always choose aggressor. All right, now, there'll be caveats if you do certain things where you may want to go with a different loadout, but always choose aggressor. Now, there's 2 separate missions for this one. Most times it just lets you go to one of the buildings like 707, Vespucci, Schlongberg, whatever. But every now and again you'll get the Merriweather location where you have to go to. Now, if you are in an invite-only solo lobby, you can run this. But if you're in a lobby with your friends, crew members, or a public lobby, this is what you need to do. Go to the missile loadout bay, which you do have to purchase this, all right? So if you have this, this will come in handy. If not, then you can just use a vehicle, your Sparrow, and you'll go over to this particular location. But if you have a missile bay, launch the missile, and what you want to do is you want to go towards the yellow check mark on the map, but it won't be directly where that yellow check mark is. There is a chopper that you need to destroy, which is sitting on top of this hangar. And again, if you have the ICBM, the missile loadout bay, if you've purchased that, you're good to go. If not, you'll have to use your Mark II or the Sparrow and fly over here and blow this thing up, and then you have to go back. But the convenience of having the missile bay is that you're just right here. So you'll fail the mission, and then you'll restart it. Now, traditionally, I would just do it, but again, if you are in a public lobby or whatever, it always bugs out. The chopper always glitches out, and you end up failing it anyways. So just to help save some time and to avoid having to burn a bunch of time because it's a bugged out mission, there you go. All right, but now we're heading to 707 Vespucci. If you do get the buildings, if you have to go to the office, go to the rooftop access. Always go to the rooftop access, all right? Now, you can do this a couple different ways. You can go in choosing violence. I like to go in stealthily, though. Shoot the door open. Shoot the door open. Pop the first guard in the head. Then take out these 2 guards right here in the head. And then you'll take out that last guard. Again, you can go violence. You can just kind of do this more stealthily. There's several different ways, but this is the way I like to do it. Kind of adds a little bit of fun to it. Go to the gun locker door, which you should be familiar with if you own a CEO office. It'll tell you that the door is locked and you need to hack the laptop. I love how there is a briefcase full of I'd say about, maybe a couple $100,000 right there that we can't have access to. But anyways, hack the laptop. You're looking for the set of 4 different numbers. You'll find that, and then go back to the gun locker, open it up, and now you'll have your weapon loadout. All right? Make sure you don't forget to get the weapons. Open it back up, collect the weapons from the gun locker itself, and then you're good to go. Hit the right arrow key or whatever the prompt is for you to do that. And now we're going to head back to the elevators. Go the same way you came in. Head back to the elevator. And then make sure you exit through the roof exit as well. If not, you'll have to have a shootout. Your Mark II is up top, and you'll have to, it's a pain. So make sure you exit through the roof, whatever prompt it is that it's telling you to. And go back to your Kasatka, and we're good to go. Now we are on the heist, baby. That's it. Right? Real clean, real simple, real easy. It should take you no more than about 30 minutes. Now, but before you run your heist, okay, and I'll talk about this again on part 3, make sure you familiarize yourself with your particular secondary loot locations, right? You got the north storage area, you've got the south, and you've got the west. Plus, you have the basement and the office. So make sure you have an idea of where you're going before you actually start the finale, okay? So there you have it. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video, all right? Peace out. Yeah.